It's not really Halloween if there's no zombies involved, so we're going to be doing a zombie tutorial, but I'm actually basing this off a Ellimac Special Effects video that I found from a few years ago, so I thought I'd sort of follow their prosthetics and show you how I applied it and made it into my own look. So we'll be linking that video down below, and enjoy. So this is my finished product of my prosthetic. I've done some brow pieces, a cheekbone, and some mouth. Let's start off with the eye area. I'm just taking a black cream-based paint and very messily applying that to the socket area. This is a good base. We're going to set it down later, add some more definition and colors, but this is a good map area of where you're going to want to have with some tones and definitions. So the socket's going to be really sunken in, that's why I've chosen black, but of course you can go with browns, reds, or anything dark. To apply my prosthetics, I'm using liquid latex, but something more permanent or like something that would last longer would definitely be spirit gum or Prozaid. Applying those straight onto the brows, so make sure you have blocked out your brows as good as possibly can, and applying those straight on. After it was sort of set and dried, I applied a little bit more liquid latex just around the edges of it, so it would sort of blend in a little better with my skin. But what I loved about this particular look, it was super beginner friendly. You don't need perfect seamless lines or anything. It doesn't have to blend perfectly into the skin. It can be super rough because zombies are decaying and gross. I then applied the cheekbone. This was just to really create like a 3D effect. The skin is really sunken around the eye area, protruding a cheekbone. With the mouthpiece, I wasn't overly 100% happy with it just because it was so large and it took ages for the latex to dry around my mouth. And I would also recommend doing a top and bottom piece. That way you can freely move your mouth throughout the night if you were to wear this to a party. I was only doing this for like this video, that's it. So it was pretty perfect for this, but apart from that, definitely do it in 2 pieces. This is a liquid gelatin mix. I've just heated up in the microwave and then slightly cooled it so it doesn't burn me. And then I'm pouring it over my skin to create lots of texture. I love this technique because it just looks like your skin is literally dripping off or melting, and it's beautiful. And even when it becomes super sticky and wet, it's great, but then it starts to dry and it's super malleable, so you can just turn it into so many angles. I've drifted down my face and neck, but also be careful because gelatin, when you remove it, it will take your baby hairs with you. So if you have a beard or anything, I don't recommend this particular technique. So right about here, my gelatin was pretty much set. It's super thick here, which I kind of loved because if I left it like that, it would just look like a piece of chunk of skin is just falling off. I have decided to sort of smooth out in certain areas, but I think it would look really cool if you were going for that like burnt zombie look, like the face is dripping off. That would look really, really cool. I then use the translucent powder just to set everything down because liquid latex will stick to itself or anything it touches if it's not set. Same with the gelatin, it tends to have like a sticky feel if it's not completely set down. Moving on to the colouring of the face, I'm taking a water activated paint in the shade brown. I will link it down below, specifically what I try and use. I'm just using a sharp brush. It's actually quite an aggressive, scratchy brush with a little bit of water and the face paint just to dab it all over it. It was just to get a good basis and a ground colour down of what I wanted. As you can see, my prosthetic doesn't actually match my skin tone as very well at all. It's very prominent, different colour. So I wanted to use a foundation just over top of it, just so it was a little bit of a colour match better. I know it was a bit dumb doing this after the brown, but then I went in again and applied some brown face paint back over this. Now we're going in with a black shadow, and I'm redefining that sort of socket area. I've actually taken a brown, a black, and a blue just in the sockets and a little bit down so it looked really sunken in. And I did the same thing with the mouth area. That's just because the same effect would be happening there. Taking a yellow shade over the teeth area. Only thing that bothers me is my real teeth are still showing through and they're not broken. So that sort of bothers me a bit, but you know, the effect is still there. Something I love doing with looks like this is grabbing this L'Oreal hairspray. So if you splatter it all over your face, it gives this really cool, grungy, dirty look that I just can't seem to replicate it with like a toothbrush or any sort of stippling method. The gelatin is still movable pretty much all the time. It doesn't fully set with this method, so you can manipulate it with this red shadow as much as you want, so it actually looks like you've got old, burned, dripping skin. And I think the contrast between the red and the skin tone with like the dullness of the skin looks really realistic and very cool. I am going in with a red shade just for a blood splatter effect, using some toothbrush, just some red paint, and just flicking it all over my face, neck and body. But I also use some black, brown, and blue I think is in there as well. Now Colourvue lenses were kind enough to send me these amazing lenses in Bloodshot. They were kind of absolutely perfect for this look. Highly recommend it, very comfortable. I will link it down below, so thank you again Colourvue. Of course, zombies need fake blood because, you know, zombie-like. But this look is very beginner friendly, super fun, and it's a last minute Halloween thing. It's very fun. There we go guys, this is me eating a blood capsule and dying on the inside because it's disgusting. But happy Halloween guys, bye.